You are live with Dr. Chapa. Good morning, good day, wherever you're tuning in from. I'm excited that you are excited about health and wellness. That's what I'm excited about. Why? Because your life depends on it. If you're not feeling your best, living your best day in and day out, it's oftentimes a bitter pill to swallow, but it's your responsibility. It's your fault. Oof. I know, right out the gate, just punch you, bam. The reality is you don't have to keep suffering needlessly with symptom patterns that you were not genetically born with. Hey, my name is Dr. Chapa, man, and I am alive with you to live alongside you in this life so that we can figure out how to conquer symptom patterns that you were not genetically born to suffer with needlessly. Too often, too many people are walking around with symptom patterns like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, headaches, migraines. They can't sleep at night. They have anxiety, depression. The list is long. The medication list is long. Guys, let me just tell you something. This is fascinating. I was just on a random walk yesterday and I got to talking to a neighbor that I haven't talked to in probably a year or so, and he counsels veterans. He counsels different PTSD patients. He deals with addictive personalities and behaviors day in and day out. And he has been doing this about 18 years. And he himself is a military veteran himself, and he gives back to the community at large by serving these people at this level, emotionally, psychologically. And I asked him just randomly, and before I even finished the statement, he answered the question. I said, so let me ask you a question about medication. How many, and that's what I said, and then he goes, 17. He already knew what I was about to ask, I think. I go, 17 what? Are you working with 17-year-olds? He goes, no. 17 medications. I already know what you're about to ask me. The average person over 60 years old right now is on 17 medications that he counsels and works with. 40-year-olds, 10 medications, and he's seeing it younger and younger. Now he's dealing with 25-year-olds that are on 3 to 5 medications. So if you go back and look at my old material, you're going to see where I have talked about the average 40-year-old person walking around today is on 3 to 5 medications. This is serious. This guy is saying that if you have symptom patterns that you weren't genetically born with, and if you're actively seeking counsel from a medical doctor, odds are you are going to be a statistical average in your 20s that I was talking about in your 40s, 3 to 5 medications. Now, in your 40s, you're going to be more like 10 medications. In your 60s and 70s, up to 17 medications. The worst patient that I've ever seen was 28 medications. Whoa. That's a lot of drugs, guys. It's a lot of drugs. They were diagnosed with autoimmune conditions. They were diagnosed with psychological conditions, gut disorders, urinary tract infections, and of course, mental fatigue, brain fog, couldn't remember why they walk into a room. And this is the real deal, Holyfield. So what an opener, right? Like, this is where we are as a society. And people are still walking around going, I don't know why I'm sick. I don't understand. Well, have you looked at your plate? Have you looked at your grocery basket? Have you looked in your pantry? Have you looked in your refrigerator? Have you looked at your plate? And look, this is a little intense right out the gate, but it goes right into our discussion tonight. Cravings or clues? Or how do you see it? And do you give into it? If you have cravings, it is a clue that something is dysfunctional in your body. So we're going to be talking this evening about how the gut drives your cravings, how your brain is manipulated by your gut, and things you can do to help your body perform better day in and day out. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this message with your friends, family, and loved ones. Thank you for getting this message to the people, because without your help, people miss this opportunity to grow and learn. And this is my heart's desire, is that you don't suffer needlessly with symptoms, that you aren't a statistical average on medications. And so cravings or clues, you are what you eat. Is that a true statement? Somebody put it in the chat below. Is it a true statement that you are what you eat? Good morning, good day, wherever you're tuning in from. I'm excited that that's what I'm excited about. Why? Because your life depends on it. If you're not feeling your best, living your best day in and day out, it's oftentimes a bitter pill to swallow, but it's your responsibility. It's your fault. Oof. I know, right out the gate, just punch you. Bam. The reality is you don't have to keep suffering needlessly with symptom patterns that you were not genetically born with. Hey, my name is Dr. Chapa, man, and I am alive with you to live alongside you in this life so that we can figure out how to conquer symptom patterns that you were not genetically born to suffer with needlessly. Too often, too many people are walking around with symptom patterns like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, headaches, migraines. They can't sleep at night. They have anxiety, depression. The list is long. The medication list is long. Guys, let me just tell you something. This is fascinating. I was just on a random walk yesterday and I got to talking to a neighbor that I haven't talked to in probably a year or so, and he counsels veterans. He counsels different PTSD patients. He deals with addictive personalities and behaviors day in and day out. And he has been doing this about 18 years. And he himself is a military veteran himself, and he gives back to the community at large by serving these people at this level, emotionally, psychologically. And I asked him just randomly, and before I even finished the statement, he answered the question. I said, so let me ask you a question about medication. How many, and that's what I said, and then he goes, 17. He already knew what I was about to ask, I think. I go, 17 what? Are you working with 17-year-olds? He goes, no. 17 medications. I already know what you're about to ask me. The average person over 60 years old right now is on 17 medications that he counsels and works with. 40-year-olds, 10 medications, and he's seeing it younger and younger. Now he's dealing with 25-year-olds that are on 3 to 5 medications. So if you go back and look at my old material, you're going to see where I have talked about the average 40-year-old person walking around today is on 3 to 5 medications. This is serious. This guy is saying that if you have symptom patterns that you weren't genetically born with, and if you're actively seeking counsel from a medical doctor, odds are you are going to be a statistical average in your 20s that I was talking about in your 40s, 3 to 5 medications. Now, in your 40s, you're going to be more like 10 medications. In your 60s and 70s, up to 17 medications. The worst patient that I've ever seen was 28 medications. Whoa. That's a lot of drugs, guys. It's a lot of drugs. They were diagnosed with autoimmune conditions. They were diagnosed with psychological conditions, gut disorders, urinary tract infections, and of course, mental fatigue, brain fog, couldn't remember why they walk into a room. And this is the real deal, Holyfield. So what an opener, right? Like, this is where we are as a society, and people are still walking around going, I don't know why I'm sick. I don't understand. Well, have you looked at your plate? Have you looked at your grocery basket? Have you looked in your pantry? Have you looked in your refrigerator? Have you looked at your plate? And look, this is a little intense right out the gate, but it goes right into our discussion tonight. Cravings or clues? Or how do you see it? And do you give into it? If you have cravings, it is a clue that something is dysfunctional in your body. So we're going to be talking this evening about how the gut drives your cravings, how your brain is manipulated by your gut, and things you can do to help your body perform better day in and day out. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this message with your friends, family, and loved ones. Thank you for getting this message to the people, because without your help, people miss this opportunity to grow and learn. And this is my heart's desire, is that you don't suffer needlessly with symptoms, that you aren't a statistical average on medications. And so cravings or clues, you are what you eat. Is that a true statement? Somebody put it in the chat below. Is it a true statement that you are what you eat? I think it goes a little beyond that. I think you become what you eat. I had one of my doctor buddies and I was teaching this detox class, and he was saying that you become what you eat. So when you look at me, if you see pudge, if you see inflammation, if you see dark circles, it's because of I'm becoming what I ate. I ate something that was dark. I ate something that wasn't life-giving. I ate something that was inflammatory. And what you eat's important, guys, but what you don't eat is more important. So ever notice that you want sugar when you're stressed out? You ever notice that you're craving salty, crunchy foods when you're overwhelmed, like chips, coffee when you're exhausted, bread when you're anxious, comfort foods. Everybody loves, home cooked, Southern cooking, right? And what if the cravings are not weakness and you've been shamed to believe that you have no willpower? You've been shamed to believe that you're just stuck being overweight and symptomatic. And the reality is they are really signal patterns that tell your body that something is off and something needs to be changed so that your body can perform. Everybody can relate to this. You're not undisciplined. You're responding to something in your body. You're responding to something that's craving. There's a great book called Your Brain on Parasites. Ooh, really the creepy crawlies. And it is a thick sciencey book, but it is rich with content and how manipulative parasites are. Yeast is getting the vessel, you, to crave midnight snacks or bowls of french fries. These poor guys can't control themselves, right? Well, maybe they're being driven because their night snacking patterns is a symptom. Their afternoon sugar crashes are a symptom, or that feeling is, I deserve this. I've had a long, rough day. And I deserve to eat whatever I'm about to indulge in. Craving carbs when emotional is an absolute communication signal that your body is out of balance. So I want you to really grab hold of that. Is it's not just you craving real food versus fake food or inflammatory food. It's your body giving you signals that you're out of balance. And so this pattern that people fall into as a trap is an indicator that something inside the earth suit is malfunctioning. You have a breaker that needs to be flipped. You have a glitch in the matrix. There's only 3 reasons people get sick. I've been really chewing on this concept. Injury. I didn't used to think leaky gut was an injury. I just didn't put it together. So dumb, right? But the reality is when the gut lining begins to tear apart, it's injured. The tissue is injured. What does that mean for you? And what does that mean for us? That means our body is penetratable from the outside world. That means you can eat an inflammatory food instead of having a shield of defense. Now all of a sudden your inflammatory food comes right into the blood supply and creates inflammation in the brain. That's bad news bear. So how do you how do you overcome the cravings if you are not recognizing that first that leaky gut or injury to the gut lining is indeed an injury, and that's one of the reasons you get sick. The second reason people get sick is they are malnourished. So this is a big issue. Malnourishment causes organs to dysfunction. Well, that's when you start seeing cortisol rise. So right now, I'm a type of guy that my cortisol probably is higher in the morning than the average. So I'm like a busybody. My mind goes, 90 nothing right out the gate. I hit the ground running, and I don't love that because I find that in order to kind of mitigate it, I have to do certain things in the morning to breathe it off, right? So I have to go for a walk. I have to drink water. I have to get an exercise in. And I hate have tos, but I'd rather have a good regiment of patterns to hack my system so that I can perform my best day in and day out. And this is something I want to teach all my patients so that they understand that cortisol in the morning comes from your adrenal glands and it causes your body's energy wake cycles to pop up. The last thing you want to be doing is waking up at 3 in the morning because your cortisol spikes too early and you're out of control. Blood sugar fluctuations throughout the day. This is also mitigated by malnourishment, right? So this will cause your body to have to reach for other resources in the body and fuel itself on quick energy. If you're craving sugar, it's a sign that you don't have good manufacturing inside the body to balance out what should be regulated very naturally. So your body, when it craves junk food, that's poisons, by the way. That's the third reason people get sick, is they're poisoning their body with processed fake food or make-believe food. And the best you'll ever have if you eat make-believe food, guys, is make-believe health. Let's not do that. And so we look at organ dysfunction, we look at tissue injury, we look at poisoning, are all the 3 reasons people find themselves in these cycles of decline, what I call the accelerated aging curve. Your dopamine levels begin to drop. Well, what do you notice with that? Well, you might notice that you don't have the motivation. You don't have that get up and go. You don't have that drive for life. You kind of feel like your system is just kind of going through the motions, right? These are indicators that there is dysfunction and inflammation in the body. Your brain says, quick comfort, fast energy, immediate relief. You deserve this. No. These are how you are managing your health with food, and food is medicine, always has been, always will be, but what you eat's important, but what you don't eat is more important. So when you reach for the sugar, the bread, the fried foods, the caffeine, you're in trouble, 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 trouble. It's not about hunger, guys. It's about relief. So we have to find these undertones and realize that our body is giving us signaling patterns. If your cravings are emotional, you may have also see your body irritable a lot. You get hangry, right? Or if you walk into a room and you go, why am I here? I came in here for something. What was it? Names, numbers, and words starts to slip. These are indications that your brain is already settling into the fog. And you have to be really quick to notice that this is not normal. You've got to stay ahead of that. Afternoon fatigue, you're reaching for caffeine, sugar, junk food in the mid-afternoon. You're going to your buddy's desk because you know at your desk you'd have already eaten all the stuff in the cookie jar. So you go to your buddy's desk so you can slow down your bad behavior in eating that junk food, but you're going over there getting a couple M&Ms, a couple Skittles, a couple sweet treats, a lollipop here or there, soda pop here or there, and boom, shakalaka, you're in trouble. Now, yeah, afternoon fatigue is gone, but now you've set yourself up for this perpetuating cycle to keep leading you down an inflammatory road. Then it gets worse. Anxiety sets in, trouble sleeping. You're not getting that recovery that you need. You're wired and tired. That's what that little is hiding back there, wired and tired. That means your adrenal glands are malfunctioning. And so when a person is wired and tired, they don't come down off the day well. Sound familiar? I bet it does. Your nervous system is driving your appetite. Your gut lining is driving your appetite. So we're going to talk again about the microbial aspects, the gut-brain connection, the hidden driver that allows your body to either thrive or misfire. Your gut bacteria absolutely positively influence your craving. So when you have good, healthy microbial balance in the gut lining, then your body produces 3 million more neurotransmitters in the gut than you even have in your brain. And there's balance, there's restoration, there's abundance. So when you're in a state where you feel rested, you feel fed, and you feel abundant, how do you perform in life? I know for me, I perform a lot better. And so I want to really get people to that point where the gut lining is so rich and so healthy and so strong that they thrive day in and day out. It's when we have these bad bacteria that are beginning to overpopulate because we have fed them or we've created an environment where they thrive and our bodies don't. We are going to start seeing imbalance through signals for sugar or triggers for carbs or bloating after meals or the brain fog that sets in maybe not just one time a day. Now it's setting in 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. Maybe you find yourself a little bit more going to the couch with the remote control, less likely to go to the gym and crank out a workout and burn off some steam, reset and calibrate your body. I was talking to a buddy that is in the astronaut world, and he works with different things that go on the space station. And he says that these astronauts have to train a lot every day because their bones wither, deplete. And I just find that interesting. These guys are commanded, part of their daily regimen, to keep their bones stable if they're going to be in zero gravity space, to train regularly, often, not once a day, guys, but multiple times a day. We on Earth, here we are, we need to be moving and grooving every day, at least an hour a day. You should be getting easily 10,000 steps a day, not because 10,000 is a magic number, because it means that you're actually moving. That's all. And throw a weight vest on, do some lunges, do some push-ups, do some body squats, do some mobility exercises, and you will start to see your body begin to thrive. And you have to push past some of this, yes, and you will love every workout you start, even if you don't finish it. Just start the plan. And you will find yourself more often consistently winning in life when you start regularly. So some microbes literally ask for the food they thrive on. So if you are craving dairy products, milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, ice cream, whey protein, things of that nature, I'll say it a little slower. That's milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, ice cream, whey protein. You are craving inflammatory foods, and it's often because the gut bugs are calling in an order saying, hey, we need a hit of dopamine. Hey, we need a hit of what we want, not what you need. You see the difference? It's what they want, not what you need. I want to retrain you to get your gut right, and you will start craving what you need and starving them of what they want. Woo-wee, that could preach all day, I'm pretty sure. So we thrive on healthy, real food that had a mom or dad that had a face that grew out of the ground naturally. When you feed sugar to the body, they grow. Who are they? Parasites of all kinds, species, bacteria, all kinds of different types of strains out there, viruses, all kinds of different particulate matter, which is a lot of times rooted in, again, parasites and bacterial yeast overgrowth, bacterial and or yeast overgrowth. Yeast sucks up all your B vitamins. Parasites eat up and poop out metals and chemicals and all kinds of carbon metabolites that stress out your nervous system and cause your nervous system to downregulate and become heavy and I just can't make it to the end of the day. How often does that happen? If that's you, it's because your body is in need of a detox. They're going to keep asking for more. Look at this. Petri dishes filled full of nasty. You could do this just day. And I have one of my doctor buddies. He's so fun. He will take bodily fluids, whether from your skin. He will take dandruff out of your hair, throw it in a petri dish. Snot out of your nose, rub it on a petri dish. Earwax, mucus, all kinds of stuff he puts into a petri dish for his patients, puts a label on it, and then he puts it in a spot in his office. What? That sounds terrible. It is, and it grows just like this. This is a petri dish from his office, and there is so many weird things that grow in and through us. And when in the right environment, these things exponentially grow. How much do you think your body can keep up with that kind of mess? You would never let your kid walk in a room with that kind of a mess on the floor, right? Well, oftentimes we do. We go in our kids' rooms and we see soda cans and we see wrappers and we see processed food and we're like, what is happening? No wonder they are getting, low grades. No wonder they can't stay focused. They're eating garbage and feeding these bugs that are living and breathing and breeding all throughout their body tissues. Going back to organ dysfunction, if you get a mess like this in your liver, how well can it detox? You get a mess like this in your adrenal glands, how well can you manage stress? If you get a mess like this in your gut, how well can you absorb? You can't. And guess what? They begin to be the drivers of your cravings and your day-to-day living. Ooh, I like this message. This is so good. And so signs that it's microbial is daily sugar cravings or the inability to walk past the donut. You see it and you woke up today and said, today's going to be the day I do a great job and I don't get into that stuff, but yet you do. That's a sign that microbes are winning. Bloating after you eat carbs. You get a bloat above your belly button or bloat below your belly button. If you're unbuttoning your britches on the way home from the restaurant, you have a yeast problem. You have a parasite problem. You have a gut dysbiotic problem. You need a Dr. Chapa solution. That's what I do, man. Go to the drchapawellness.com website. Get on our detox. It's a great place to start. If you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you are missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. Sorry, it's that simple. And it is a start place, not a finish line. It is a start place to literally take the bull by the horns and start mitigating some of these messes that you're seeing right here in this slide. Skin issues. If you got rashes, if you got eczema, if you got patches of dry skin, if you've got dandruff, if you got psoriasis, if you've got any type of hive, these are indications that your body is dumping trash out of the wrong exit channel. This is a major issue that people don't realize is an internal problem. It is not that you need to rub more lotions and potions on your body. It doesn't mean you need to scrub better in the bathtub. It means your body is dumping trash, toxins, debris out of the wrong exit channel. That's something that we can help you with and want you to work on. We don't want you in that fog. Sinus congestion. You get drippy down the back of your throat, constant drip and sludge and crusties in your nose. Your inner ear starts getting wacko. You start feeling like your body's not performing good because your head is full of snot and you're almost got that internal ring and pressure buildup. That's an indication that things are backlogged in the lymphatics. You need a Dr. Chapa lymphatic wash. It's simple. It's easy. There's things to do, but are you willing to do the work? I hope you are. What if it's a fungal issue? You got the toenail fungus, which is a sign that you have a deep-rooted cellular infection that's been there for a really long time. And it's so deep-rooted that it's down in the nail beds. That's a fine line between realizing that you are on track and off track. If you've got toenail fungus, or if you've got those nails that kind of start rising up off of the skin, that's parasites, by the way. You are a candidate for the work that we do, and we want to teach you again in our ecosystem. To my ecosystem will help mitigate these problems. Maybe your ecosystem needs to get Dr. Chapa checkup, right? We got different blood tests that we can run. We can do a petri dish test if like you wanted to get one of these. This is kind of fun. So it's not about willpower, guys. It's about biology. So learn to recognize that when your mood is off, it's because the gut bugs are winning. And if you get this right, you will thrive in a world that's trying to make you sick day in and day out. So the gut brain connection, 90% of your serotonin is made in the gut. Do you know serotonin is your joy hormone? It is how you feel Jesus on you, joy. And joy and the serotonin is sustainable. It's literally sustaining how your body feels day in and day out. Your outflow, your output, your vitality, your vim, vigor, and vip all go up when serotonin is in balance, in abundance. So we want when you to not have these symptoms that we've been talking about, mood shifts, cravings, energy crashes, and focus delays declines, is all because the gut lining is inflamed and you're not making B vitamins and you're not making neurotransmitters. So this is so good that you start to recognize that when you do my detox in a box, when you do a gut restoration program, when you do a lymphatic wash with us, you're going to change the circuitry from your brain to your gut, from your gut to your brain, and you're going to get a perpetuating loop of output, then vigor and vip and energy, not low crashes, not mental decline, not moody, irritable, angry symptomatology. We don't want you feeling like you're on a inflammatory, erratic, chaotic roller coaster. There's so much of that going on. But at drchopwellness.com, man, I got solutions, and I've been teaching people for over 21 years how to live best, be best, stay best, day in and day out. And I believe that we can help you feel your best day in and day out. So come on, man, let's get after it. We got work to do. This will be a good time because the pattern most people live in, and this goes back to what I was mentioning earlier with the medication crazy that's going on, the crisis of medication overload, is people live in a stress, sugar, temporary relief, because the sugar does give you a little bit of a dopamine hit that paints over rust, then the crash, more cravings, more guilt, more sugar, more comfort, back to stress. And it's this perpetuating cycle of decline. It costs you minerals, it costs you vitamins, it wrecks your inflammatory essential fatty acid balance, it causes your stress resolve or resilience to continue to shrink. And when that begins to shrink, guess what happens? You're more triggered. You're more going to crave sugar. The cravings are going to be more uncontrollable, and you're never going to be able to win this sugar battle. I want to teach you how to get better than temporary relief, but permanent relief, and turn the trajectory from crashing to a promised land. Whoo-wee. I want you to go to Camelot. I want you to feel not cravings, but control. I want you to feel not guilt, but victory and power. This is exciting. Do not repeat this loop that drives to guilt, this loop that continually starts and stops in the stress lane. It's a loop of failure. It is not your destiny. You don't have to stay in it. I can help you break this loop so that you can live with victory and a spring in your step, and you can also enroll others along the journey. So this is very exciting that we have this class going on every Monday night right now, and I want you to share it with your friends, family, and loved ones. Remember, please get this message to your friends, family, and loved ones, because it could change their life. It could change your life. It could change your marriage. It could change how you parent your children. It could change your children's trajectory on how they raise their families or get through their college careers or start their careers or get through even just something like high school or sports. If we would change the trajectory of how we feed our families, we would see a shift in how we pray, how we play, and how we perform together as a communal whole. Wow, I'm excited already. I'm ready to give up all this craving garbage and get my body back in alignment. Of course, this is the joy of taking the bull by the horns and not sitting on my laurels and wondering how I'm going to get better. If you have cravings for chocolate, you are probably missing a magnesium depletion, not necessarily a dopamine hit, not necessarily, oh, because I love chocolate. It is emotional comfort, but it's typically a mineral deficiency. Cravings are a clue that your body is reaching for what it needs or feeding what wants it. So bread cravings are blood sugar instability in the body. It's feeding gut bugs and it's slowing down the gut motility, causing parasites and yeast to just have a field day with fuel sources in a nice, warm, moist environment where they replicate at warp speed. Salty snacks means that your adrenals are crashed. That means your adrenal glands living on top of your kidneys, they manage and handle stress, manage and handle cortisol, manage and handle blood sugar. They do even regulate your blood pressure. They handle how you even if you need to wear sunglasses during the day. So if you're a person that can't even walk outside without putting on a pair of sunglasses, or you can't go out on your back porch without a pair of sunglasses, your adrenals are trashed. This is an indicator that I had a young girl yesterday. She's doing really good in school. She's improved greatly, but we're not done. We still see adrenal distress in her body. This is not uncommon. This is normal. Coffee, sleep debt. Oh, man, cortisol imbalance, another adrenal insufficiency. But did you know you get your gut right, you regulate your cortisol? So I'm finding right now, just by restoring people's gut lining, I have a protocol that I put together that restores the gut lining during the night that will literally help control all these sugar spikes through the night because of cortisol mismanagement and how you get up every day instead of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, you're springing up like a Pop Tart and feeling amazing. And I say a Pop Tart because everybody remembers that commercial where it pops up and everybody gets all fired up and excited and they're like, woohoo, party in your mouth. Well, it's a party in your body. It's a party in your mind. It's a party in living well a day's work. Sugar cravings at night is a dopamine depletion. That means you have overloaded your circuits. That means if you're over there scrolling, if you're over there, under the blue lights of your house and your house is lit up like Fort Knox and you can't shut down your mind because it's ripping and roaring and racing, that's an indicator that, again, minerals are off, dopamine levels are out of balance because the gut is inflamed because there's just too much sugar inflammation present in the gut. Your body is whispering, then it screams. And it screams in the form of major symptom patterns or need for drugs. This is where we want to stop that perpetuating cycle. What most people get wrong is they try to be more disciplined. They attempt to restrict. They find themselves more guilty than ever. And they're like, well, I guess I'm going to have to start again on Monday. I've already wrecked the week and it's only Wednesday. No, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can't have 4 days of just misbehaved living because you feel like Monday got off to a good start and Tuesday you wrecked it. No way, Jose. We've got to find a better way. I've got patients all the time come in and I reset their blood sugar. I stabilize their cravings just using different herbs. So there are tools in our office, in our resources that can help you mitigate these cravings. So you're not doing it alone. I'm going to teach you how to modulate your health using herbs, using detox, using food, using hydration tips, using lifestyle practices to live your best, be your best day in and day out. And it's in your possession. It's in your hands. All you got to do is say yes. All you got to do is make that call. All you got to do is go to chapawellness.com and you will find there is so many great tools and resources to live your best, be your best, stay your best day in and day out. But if you don't fix these problems, the nervous system continues to decline. The gut continues to be imbalanced. Blood sugar swings continue to swing. This is just leaving you on the perpetuating cycle of decline, the accelerated aging curve. Disease is in your future. Hey, look, healing looks way better. Eating real food, craving going away and not being controlled by sugar or the presence of sweets. And you should be able to go to your in-laws' house. You should be able to go to work. You should be able to go to a party and not feel like you need to eat, drink everything in sight. What is that? The seafood diet? Everything you see, you eat. We don't want you on that diet. We want you on an energy stabilizing diet. We want you on a mood enhancing diet. We want you on a deep sleep restorative program diet. We want you to find food as a natural part of your day that you enjoy, not that you're bored with and mad at and frustrated with. People start a detox with me and they find out real quick if they can actually hack it, so to speak. They realize how bad their cravings really are. They realize that they're not as well as they thought. They don't have the willpower they thought because within 10 days, 14 days of me going on a no sugar diet, that means not even stevia, not even any of the electrolyte drinks that I was doing, complete sugar reduction. I literally craved everything under the sun. It was mind-boggling, and I wanted to eat my arm off. It took about 35 days for that to stop. But I found that if I would have put gymnema in, if I would have put some of berberine in, if I would have restored the gut lining and did the gut restoration protocol at night, I would feel calmer, cooler, and been able to walk past it sooner. I've done this with a lot of other people. What took me when I started doing this stuff 30, 40 days, I'm now able to do inside of weeks. So it's pretty exciting. Freedom feels calm, not forced. That's what good health and wellness looks like. So you don't need another diet. You just need new ideas. You join our master. Take your phone out, snapshot this QR code, and get this into your hands, because it will change how you thrive in the 21st century. And it's your life, your health, your choice, guys. No one's coming for you. This may be the only message you hear. I hope you're encouraged. If it resonated with you, join the masterclass. It's called Design to Thrive. It is a way that you can feel your best, live your best, go onward, upward, goodward, and Godward day in and day out, and feel the energy that you deserve day in and day out, not suffer in the stress zone. Learn how stress rewires cravings, learn how to reset your microbiome, learn how to stabilize your blood sugar, and learn how to restore mental clarity. If you don't want those things, then you're a rare person. I've yet to meet a person in 20 plus years doing this work that doesn't want these type of resources in their possession, and it's in your hands. So click it on that QR code. Make sure that you sign up for the masterclass, stay to the end, and learn, grow, develop. You're not going to learn this stuff through osmosis. There's so much information coming at you day in and day out to be distracted to go here and be pulled to go there, and then life and family and all the other things that distract us. It's your health. It's your life. It's your choice. It's worth it. So I challenge you and encourage you, stay in the game with us and keep pressing onward, upward, goodward, and Godward. This is Dr. Chapa, wellness.com. I'm excited to be with you every Monday night to teach you how to live better, be better, and stay better, one bite at a time. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.